to his credit, I guess, I don't know how he would avoid this, but Kevin Stitt, the governor of Oklahoma, has already called for an investigation into this. An Oklahoma-based newspaper, the McCurtain Gazette-News, somehow obtained audio of multiple local officials discussing their desire to kill journalists. And this isn't just like, God, I wish that guy would die. This guy is talking about, like, I know a couple of hitmen.
And it's about, and for a little bit more context here, it's also about a specific journalist from this newspaper who was obtained audio after this county commissioners meeting where they were talking about him because I think he was filing a lawsuit against them for some, I don't exactly know what reason, but like they are like discussing him being kind of a thorn in their side.
Right. And of course, we should also say that they're also upset about how black people have more rights than white people because white people can't lynch them anymore. So white right to lynch is being curtailed. Listen to this audio. It's really nuts.
It was back in the day when Alan Marshall take a damn blackjack, whoop their ass and throw them in the cell, I'd run for fucking sheriff.
Yeah, well, it's not like that no more.
I know. We're taking them down here on Mud Creek and hang them up with the damn rope.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
Think about it,
they got more rights than we got.
Pause it. All right, did you hear that? It was back in the day, you'd beat the hell out of a black guy, you throw him in the jail. The other guy says, you can't do that no more. Yeah, I know it. Used to be you take him back to Mud Creek, you hang him up. Now you can't do that anymore because they got more rights than white people. This is Jim just talking amongst themselves.
It was back in the day when Alan Marshall take a damn blackjack, whoop their ass and throw them in the cell, I'd run for fucking sheriff.
Yeah, well, it's not like that no more.
I know. We're taking them down here on Mud Creek and hang them up with the damn rope.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
Think about it,
they got more rights than we got.
What they really don't know is
And that's the thing about it. 20 years ago, I would have done something like that. 20 years ago, I was in a political position. You know?
they're insignificant in my life.
Yes.
Really, they bring
The old saying is, you know,
What goes around goes around.
it will. I told you it will.
Yeah.
I know we're two big deep holes.
Pause it for one thing, too. I mean, just to contextualize this, now I don't know where McCurtain County is, but in 1921, as we were, this country was going through really the height of the fictionalized version of what the Civil War was about. We've had, by 1921, we had multiple, I feel like every day we hear about another one, you know, because the history is uncovered, or I learn about another one, I should say, of attacks on black people, particularly black people who have amassed wealth or middle class status or political power. South Carolina, Texas, North Carolina. I mean, all across really the South. Over the course of the, 50 some odd, 55 years from the Civil War. By 1921, you've got 6% of the U.S. population card-carrying members of the KKK. And there's a huge attack in Tulsa, Oklahoma, on a black neighborhood that, middle class and, relatively wealthy black people. There's been a lot, I think written about that, at least in the past couple of years. But that was, all right, continue with this, just to give you context of how, I know that the racism is over in America, but hundreds of residents in Oklahoma, in Tulsa were killed, and something like over 1,000 homes, burned down.
Yeah, an entire district of Tulsa just basically razed. Yeah.
significant in my life.
Yes.
They bring.
The old saying is, you know,
What goes around, it.
it will. I told you it will.
Yeah.
I know where two big deep holes are if you ever need them.
I got an excavator.
These are already pre-dug. Yeah, but the thing of it is, you know,
We actually told the truth.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen that are very quiet guys
Yeah,
and would cut no fucking mercy
yeah,
in Louisiana because it was all mafia around
Yeah.
Oh,
Louisiana.
yeah.
yeah, but here's the reality. If the hair on his wife's head, Chris Willingham's head, or any of those people that really were behind all that, if the hair on their head got touched by anybody, who would be the bad guy?
Who'd you blame for?
Yeah.
On the bark body, you know, we wrap it up in tinfoil to preserve the body and stuff like that, and then we got all the body parts and stuff like that. And Kyla was out there too.
On the body part. Oh, she come apart.
Yeah, it's the bark bodies.
No, I know. I picked up on
And
They really
Yeah.
fell apart when they're burnt?
yeah,
Have you
Yeah.
ever had barbecue?
that's another.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm hungry.
Kyla looked at the face.
So they're just talking about, I guess, the journalist and the family.
Willingham, yeah, and his wife. They're saying.
And they're saying anybody touches a hair on the head, you know who's going to get blamed for it. Even though they're talking about, like, we go out there and just dig a couple of big ditches. And then some other guy says, I know a couple of hitmen, 2 or 3 hitmen in Louisiana mobbed up there. They're quiet guys, but they're really, vicious. And then the other guy's talking about, when you burn a body,
Right.
it all falls apart and you really can't trace it. They're just, having fun, sitting around, musing. Maybe they're trying to impress each other. I know somebody who can kill the people.
Just lightly musing after a county meeting about.
Turns out there's somebody else in the office who thinks that they're douchebags, which is helpful.
Let's record.
Cancel culture. Can't believe these people are being canceled just because of what they said.
By their own governor, their own Republican governor.
Yep. But don't forget, folks, no racism. Racism is over.